Hello, this is Herman Sosa with UbuntuSpeaks. I'm here in Havana, Cuba, and I'm here with a friend he's been our tour guide, and I love to make friends out of strangers. So we're going to ask him to tell us a little bit about what he loves about his culture. Would you introduce yourself and say your name?
Well, my name is Michelle. See, our culture is very similar to that of the Southern Spanish. I mean, we are outgoing, warm-hearted people who like music, who like drinking, partying, and who like to make friends also.
Okay.
Our culture is also a mixture of the local indigenous people's culture and the Africans that came here, brought over by the Spaniards, and they brought over their rhythms, their beliefs, their traditional dances as well.
Okay.
And their music, which is part of our music too.
Can you tell me a little bit about transculture? I know you had mentioned it before.
Well, the concept of transculturation, it was Fernando Ortiz, one of the first intellectuals to study the impact of the mixture of the African, indigenous, and Spanish cultures in the New World, with the outcome of a totally new culture that was further enriched with elements of the previous cultures and of the people that lived here before.
Okay, so if someone wants to learn more about the music and the food and the culture of Cuba, where do they need to go?
First, they have to come here.
Okay, first they have to, of course.
Well,
so get your passport and come.
There's a very special place in Old Havana called the Hamel Alley.
Okay.
They have people that really know the histories and the intricacies of the African indigenous culture. And then there is the Museum of Music with a wonderful collection of African instruments that are owned by Mr. Fernando Ortiz, the intellectual that I mentioned before.
Oh, wow. And what about for food?
Well, for food, there are several places in the Old Havana area. One of my favorite would be Doña Eugenia.
Say it again?
Doña Eugenia.
Okay.
It's at the Cathedral Square in a place called Callejón del Chorro.
Uh-huh.
It's on the southern part of the Cathedral Square.
Okay. What's so great about it?
Well, it's very rich.
It's very rich.
It's very rich. So you got, for example, elements of the indigenous food.
Okay.
Like sweet potato. They have a lot of sweet potato and yam.
Okay.
And then you have elements of the northern Spanish food, like the stew of black beans, which is a basic part of our diet, along with a stew of, for example, of corn. Corn stew is one of our main dishes. We call it ajiaco.
Ajiaco.
Ajiaco, which is a word we use to refer to what happened here in the New World. It's a mixture of different culture. It's like a stew of those cultures. So it's like an ajiaco.
Ajiaco. I love that term. Ajiaco. And what about seafood? Because I love seafood. And I find that, every time I go to an island, for me, it's important to have seafood. So is there somewhere you can recommend?
Well, for seafood, you can go to any of the restaurants in the Old Havana area, especially those around the squares. Since we are an island surrounded by sea, seafood is an essential part of our diet, especially fish, shrimps, lobster.
Yum, yum, yum.
Sounds good, right?
Yes, it does.
Tastes
especially
better.
now, right? Okay. And so for all you seafood lovers, there's definitely a place for you there. If you love pork, this is also the place for you to come. If you like, vegetables and anything, you can basically find anything you like here, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. And can you tell me a little bit about what you think Cuba has to offer to the world?
Well, we have cultural heritage. We have architecture that has nurtured itself out of different trends. French, Spanish, indigenous as well. Like, for example, the place where we had lunch. So that would be very typical to the indigenous times. We have painting. For that, you have to
go to a lot of beautiful art.
Yeah, you got to go to the Fine Arts Museum. We have a beautiful collection of Cuban paintings. We have also, for example, in the Old Havana area, we have the House of Africa. We have lots of cultures, pottery. We have also the House of Asia, with a wonderful sample of Asian culture.
Oh, wow.
We have the Universal Arts Museum, with a beautiful collection of Dutch paintings.
Dutch. Is there a big Dutch
painting.
influence
Yeah,
here?
that's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Especially in arts and painting. See, our influence is quite mixed.
see.
Spanish, French, Dutch, mostly European, and Latin American too. For example, the mural you saw at the place where we had lunch, it's there you see the influence of the Mexican
Mexican
painter
painter.
Diego Rivera.
Oh, wow. And it was gorgeous. I took a bunch of pictures, so I'll definitely show everyone. And for me, coming here has been one of my greatest because it's definitely on my bucket list. So I finally get to say that I've been to Cuba and also to learn more about, the Cuban culture and language and finally get to practice my Spanish. As you see, we're having this interview in English, but he speaks, 4 or 5 languages? Close to?
3, Spanish, English, and French.
Oh, Spanish, English, and French. And I'm sure he could easily learn 2 more. And so having said that, it's really important to learn not just other cultures, but to learn how to speak the language of the people.
It comes in handy when you travel.
It really does. And to be the great tour guide like he is, because if you've been on this tour, he literally goes from Spanish to English with ease. I mean, sometimes I'm like, oh, did he transition? Because he's saying this, he's speaking, telling us everything. So can you tell me a little bit about the importance of language for you? Why is it important for you to know these 3 languages?
I always liked languages, so I started learning English when I was in primary school. You had to take English in 6th grade.
Wow.
Then I watched this movie called Cyrano with the Bergerac.
Okay.
Then I kind of fell in love with French, and then I decided to go to this school called the French Alliance. We have 2 schools now, one close to the old Havana area, and one in the Vedado neighborhood, which is the city center. And then I took 3 years of French, and then the rest I learned along the way out of customers, just listening to customers speaking and studying and reading.
Oh, so you definitely could learn like 2 or 3 more languages if that's your way of learning.
Languages is hard work, but it's fun.
It is fun. It is fun. It allows you to
get familiar
communicate.
with the culture of the native people that speak that language.
Right. That's awesome. So today I'm going salsa dancing, and then tomorrow I'm definitely going to go to the restaurants that he suggested. So once again, everyone, this is Herman Spenzosa. Thank you very much
My pleasure.
for sharing with us with your love for Cuba and your love for your culture and what makes Cuba so special.
Thank you for choosing us.
Oh, of course. And I'll definitely be back. Thank you, everyone. Much love. I am who I am because we all are. And remember to step out of your box, get your passport, visit, make Cuba one of your places on your travel bucket list. And remember, we are one.